Howdy, everybody, and welcome to another horrifying episode of Random Rhapsody's Dreams of Infinity. I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and magic keeper, and joining me around my virtual table tonight are Ashleyien, Hana, John, Kira, and Los. Say hi, everyone.
Everyone, hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, nobody said anything about horrifying.
I did. I guarantee I heard it. I said it. It happened. There you go. Now, before we begin, we do have a few announcements to get through, starting with the first of our two sponsors for tonight's show, Hero Forge. Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build your perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator right in your web browser, which is where we built the tokens for this game. You can build yours today at heroforge.com. Our second sponsor for tonight's show is XSplit. XSplit is a high-quality virtual webcam background remover that works with your already existing webcam. Using this program, you can protect your privacy while you work or play remotely by blurring the background, removing it entirely, or even putting a picture as the background instead. You can download the app today at xsplit.com, and if you use the coupon code RANDOM with a capital R, you can get 10% off of your purchase. You can find our referral link in the chat and show description. Last but not least, next Monday we are back with another episode of Aether Shanties, our Sagas campaign. And our heroes are still stuck on the Rock of Ral. Who knows if they're ever going to get off of it. They're trying. They're definitely trying. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more of the multiverse soon. That's 7 p.m. Central Time here on the Random Rhapsody Network. Now you can keep up to the date on our schedule and everything we do here on the network by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV, on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody, on Blue Sky as Random Rhapsody, and on TikTok as Random Rhapsody_TV. And that's it for our announcements. So join us as we return to Loropa City and continue on with the Magi-Knights as they investigate the Dreams of Infinity. And we're back. If you've been watching our channel for a while, you know how I like to do the recaps. I offer up the Random Rhapsody coin, which is good for one free reroll during the session. And that goes true for me, too. So if I do the recap, I get that coin, and I can use it in a lot of different ways in this game. It's a lot of fun, and I'm always disappointed that I never get to use it. So y'all are cool with me getting it today, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Well, who wants to do the recap then?
I will.
In that case, Melody, tell us what happened last time on Dreams of Infinity.
Okay. The morning after our sleepover at Salem's, we played some Truth or Dare, which was More fun than I expected, even though I had to endure Damian nosing into my romantic life. Someday he'll learn that the deeper he digs into the grave of my secrets, the harder it will be for him to resist the horrors inside. After the frivolity of the morning was done with, Salem, Aisha, Kat, and I all went to Sacred Hearts Church to attend the service. As soon as we each arrived, Aisha and I were ushered up to the front for the best view of the service. It seemed like the church ladies were very concerned about us, although I can't imagine why. The service began with a song that Sister Margaret made an appearance for, but as soon as she started singing, an oppressive aura filled the room and our soul crystals started pulsing. The lyrics to the song were also strange. The singing group kept mentioning words like the Master and the One in a way that made it seem like they were talking about a regular person. There was also something off about Pastor Bishop's sermon. His obviously deceiving words seemed to be pulling energy from the crowd, in a way. It made me wonder if souls taste as good as blood does. We noticed a few familiar faces in the church congregation, one of them being the beefy, heat-packing security guard from the Gidim Development Building, otherwise known as Smith. I can't say I'll be sad if he gets brainwashed, and it could be fun to see my comrades take on someone that big in combat. I'll have to buy some popcorn for that. At Damian's part-time theater job, he learned that the owner of the theater is planning to host a movie marathon around Halloween that will make everyone feel anxious and scared. We'll have to keep an eye on that, especially since it might get us free seats to see some great horror movies. And I hope you enjoy the session today.
Very well done. There you go. There's the random Rhapsody coin. Don't forget to use it, though.
Thank you.
It's only going to last the session. Well, Magi-Knights. It is still Sunday, and things are a little wonky right now, at least from a game mechanics perspective, since we kind of did our phases out of order today. But that's okay. We concluded last session towards the end of your investigation phase, with Damian still at Hawthorne Theater working their day job and overhearing that shifty business while the rest of the team were down at Sacred Hearts Church and experiencing a rather strange morning service. Church is over. And the congregants are all on their feet and moving about the chapel and into the foyer, getting ready to leave or just milling about and chatting. You've all seen some familiar faces here at church, including Finn Ambrosia, who runs Ambrosia Cafe, along with his wife Francine, who is a teacher at your school. As Melody mentioned, you've seen Guy Gidim, the real estate developer, and Smith, the security guard. Those two weren't seated near one another. You just happened to see them among the crowd. And oddly enough, James Ronan was even there. Melody has spotted him at the sound booth. So with the service now concluded and people are moving about, what do you plan on doing, Magi-Knights? We do have a free time phase to get to after all. So if there's anything else anyone wants to do before leaving Sacred Hearts Church, now's really the time.
I mean, I'm waiting for my requisite conversation with the pastor sermon, man.
You're waiting to go talk to him? Okay.
Well, I was told I needed to by the ladies at the front.
Yeah, that's true. They did tell you really do need to. Why don't you get... What's that?
I was going to say, when I heard that, I interpreted that as if I leave without having that conversation, it will create a negative social link with this man. So I'm waiting for him to be like, okay, I'm ready to see you in my office.
Interesting. Well, go ahead and give me a quick perception check to see if you can spot Pastor Bishop out among the crowd.
That's a 9.
You're in the chapel right now. You're looking about. You don't see him. You remember that at the end of the sermon, he got down off the stage and headed to the front, and then everybody just kind of got up and started milling about. So you're not sure where he is right now.
I'm gonna go find the greeter ladies.
You're gonna go find the group of ladies.
The greeter ladies, yeah.
The greeter ladies. Okay. You're heading out into the foyer to look for them. The ladies are all out there, of course. They seem to be milling about the front doors, speaking to people as they leave the foyer and head out to their cars. They just kind of see the group of them standing by the front doors.
So did I still have to talk to the pastor?
The ladies, I'll turn to look at you. They were just talking to a young family. They're walking out the front doors and... Well, I suppose you certainly should. They kind of look about a little bit. Why don't you go and... Yeah, why don't you come with me, and we'll see if we can find him.
Gonna follow?
The two of the ladies separate themselves and remain where they are, there in the front of the doors, while the third, skinny, sickly kind of looking older lady takes you by the arm, kind of hooks her arm through yours, and begins leading you back into the chapel. And you kind of do a long circuit about, looking around for the pastor. Finally, after about 5 or so minutes, you do spot him. He's kind of towards the back near another set of double doors that leads further into the church. And he is currently in a conversation with another man you recognize. It's Guy Giddum. The two of them are talking together. What I would like for you to do is make for me a perception check as you and the lady approach.
That's a natural one.
That is a natural one.
2 total.
You do not hear much of what they're saying because the entire time the older lady is kind of jabbering to you about how great and awesome the pastor is, all the good works that he does, and that sort of thing. And so, like, she's just gnawing your ear off a little bit, and you're unable to pick up what the conversation is between the pastor and Guy. They stop talking the moment Pastor Bishop sees you. He's kind of facing you in your direction, though Guy was more at an angle. And the pastor sees the two of you approaching, and he holds up a hand, and Guy's mouth, like, immediately closes. The lady you're with takes this to mean that you're good to approach, and she kind of pulls you along and says... Pastor Bishop, I think this young woman really should speak to you for a few moments. Do you have some time? The pastor smiles and says, "Well, of course, Sister Patrice. I always have time for you." He turns and looks at you and says, "And what can I do for you, young lady?"
Well, I came here today as this is my first Christian sermon, and I must say, I'm very interested to learn more. And I was just personally very curious about what you think the church's responsibility to its communities are.
Let's see. I think this is just a persuasion check.
Cool. Yeah, I can do those. I have an okay modifier, and I can roll a d20 above a 10. That's a 17 total.
Hey, good job. Good job hitting over that 10. The pastor smiles at you and he says, "Oh, well, I feel that the church's responsibility to its community is quite vast indeed. We are, of course, called to be shepherds of men and lead people to the good truth. But there is much more to it than that. There is, of course, our calling to charity, to service, to benefiting the community as a whole. We believe that we should reach out to our communities, invite them in. Also, make sure that they have everything that they need, both in body and in spirit."
Can I do little insight roll to see if I think he's trying to sugar talk me?
Yeah, absolutely. Make your insight check.
That's not great. That's only an 8.
He seems extremely sincere in his in what he's saying.
All right. I don't have a. No, I don't. Okay. Going to thank him and nod and ask the inverse question. What would you in turn say a community's responsibilities for its church is?
Say that one more time.
What do you think a community's responsibility for its place of worship is?
I'm not sure if a community really has an obligation to any one institution or organization. I would say that at best, what we can hope for is an openness, a willingness to learn, to a desire to seek the truth.
That's nice. I like that.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I do hope that I'll be seeing you again here at Sacred Hearts Church. We always welcome anyone in our doors, and we hope that you'll be a regular part of our little community.
Just gonna rub her head for a second and go, well, young life has a lot to explore, but I imagine I'll be back in due course.
And I look forward to seeing you again. What was your name one more time?
Aisha Yamamoto.
Aisha Yamamoto. I'll remember that. I look forward to seeing you.
That was me looking at my other screen,
Yeah.
my character sheet. And she's gonna slip off to try and find her friends.
Speaking of your friends, Kat, Salem, Melody, what have you been doing during this time?
I think when we left off, I said I was walking over to talk to James or see what he's up to, right?
Yes, I do believe you did.
Yeah, so I'd like to go investigate that.
Okay. Give me a perception check as well, because like I said, everybody's moving about.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to open my sheet. I'm gonna get really quick. Ooh. Okay, perception. I don't know what I got, because it's... There we go. Oh, a 10? Ugh.
A 10.
Yes.
You head over to the sound booth, and you're disappointed to see that there is only an older gentleman seated in the booth.
So I'd have to try to find him, which I just failed to do, I'm assuming. So maybe I'll ask him later then.
Do you say anything to the guy, or you just kind of walk up to the booth, sees James is not there, and turn around?
I guess I can talk to the guy for a second.
You don't have to. I was just asking.
No, I was laughing at what Ash said. He disguised himself as an old man. He doesn't want me to talk to him, apparently.
Yes, that's definitely it. Definitely it.
Okay. No, I'll talk to him for a second. I will say, hey, hi. Are you always the one who runs this booth?
The man kind of looks up at you, surprised. He wasn't expecting anybody to be there. He says, well, I'm just kind of learning this, actually. This was my first time assisting our AV coordinator.
Did you happen to see a young man around my age walk by or come around this area not long before now?
Make for me a persuasion check.
Okay. A 13.
13. He says, oh, you mean Ronan?
Oh, you know him?
Oh yeah, he's our AV technician.
Oh, does he work here every Sunday?
On and off. Yeah. He's been he's here every Sunday.
Is he done with his shift, or would you happen to know where he is?
He usually ducks out right at the end of service. He might still be around. He looks over at the chair that is right next to his. Well, his stuff's not under there, so he might have left already, but you might still catch him in the parking lot. I'm not sure.
Okay, I'll go check. Thank you.
You kind of, sure, no problem. It's nice to know the kid has friends.
Yeah. All right, I will. It's weird. He gives off that vibe to everybody. Like, he probably doesn't know him that well, and he knows he doesn't have many friends. Yeah, I will head to the parking lot, but if you want to switch to somebody else first, that's fine.
That was the plan, yeah. You're making your way to the parking lot about the same time that Aisha's speaking with the pastor. So, Salem, Kat, what are you two up to?
Not sure.
I think, honestly, this whole thing has Salem a little unsettled. So if I were to see the others start to leave, I'm probably going to follow suit. Because this is still early in investigation. I don't want to go too rogue and accidentally cause something to happen.
Yeah, we're towards the end of your investigation phase.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think now that the service is done, we got enough good creepy information that Salem's just gonna go wait for everybody else at the parking lot.
Okay. How about you, Kat?
I was trying to figure out what to do, and I was just thinking, do they have little music sheets, books, or something that they do their songs out of?
No, they actually the songs were projected onto a drop-down screen.
Okay, so there's nothing to look at. So, doesn't want to go snooping around by herself. So,
Steal the projector reel.
grab the whole thing and run.
I mean, there is a projector, and like it came from the same booth that the sound was coming from. So you could always go try to steal it.
That's not Kat. And Melody, probably when Kat was thinking about it, Melody was in there talking to the guy.
Yeah, probably.
Well,
No.
I wanted to ask really quick. Was there somebody in the office? Isn't that near the front of the church, like near the exit, the office door?
Yeah, it
Or was
is.
it-
When you go through when you enter into the foyer, right across from the double doors where you go into the chapel, there is that big window of an office, and then there's a door that leads to a back office.
Okay, is there somebody in it, or is it open? Or...
The window is open, and you can see that really skinny lady, olive oil looking lady that with the hair done up. You've talked to her the last time you were all here. She kind of like was really rude to you.
Oh, so after she was done singing, she went to the office
Yes.
right away? Oh, dang it. Okay. I wanted to try to look in that book of hers, but all right. Never mind. Sorry for interrupting, Ash. I just had to ask that before I was in the parking lot. It was too late.
Yeah, no, I had that same idea, but I think that's a 2-person job, so I didn't want to do it by myself.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Unless
maybe you
people
guys
can
could
get
do it while
together.
I'm going out there. Yeah.
Someone distract her and somebody check the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you two want to do that since I'm headed out.
Up to you, Kat. Do you want to do something bad?
Do
I'm not
it.
good at bad.
Do it. Take a risk.
I
Roll a die. Flip a coin.
Yeah,
It's your way to show your sister you're cooler than she is.
you got this.
Put Aisha in her
I don't
place.
know how to do this. I don't know what
I believe in you.
we would need to distract her somehow.
How about no? Don't worry about the distraction. I got
well-
this.
well,
What I need
let's-
you to do.
Let's say that the two of you are standing out just outside the church building right now as you're discussing this. Melody, you're passing them as you
Yeah.
walk out. So there you go.
It's fine. I will handle it, but what I need you to do is do what you do best. Use your quick little reflexes. Just la la la, reach in, grab the book, and then we get the heck out of there.
We're gonna steal the book.
It's not really stealing if it's on open property, right? It's unattended. You don't know who it belongs to.
About that.
Which book are you talking about? Pastor Bishop's book?
The book Olive Oil was using.
Yeah,
I have notes about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pastor. I believe that's Pastor
Oh.
Bishop's Bible.
Oh,
Or it looks like
okay.
his Bible.
Well, there was something that she was like writing notes in during their
Mhm.
meeting
Oh,
or
you're
something.
talking about that. Oh, you're talking about her notebook.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I wasn't sure which book you were referring to. So you're going after the notebook, the ledger that she was writing in.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
It was during the AA meeting. I wrote that she takes notes on it during it.
Yep.
During the
That's
eight.
kind of why I wanted to go with you so we could try to at least swipe that or look
Yeah.
into that. So
Kat's not too sure what this book is, so somebody would have to say. Kat wasn't there. I'm assuming has she been writing in it now, or
I mean, she always seems to be writing in it. So if you see an open book or even a closed book on the top of the table or desk, it is probably the correct one.
what color is it?
Pick a color.
She would just be boring. It would just be a black notebook. Ugh. I mean, we like black in this house, but
A black leather ledger style notebook. So that really
Mhm.
thick
Okay.
spiral on it and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okie dokie. So we're trying this.
Let's do. Worst that happens is we have to run. We got fast legs. We got this. I'm gonna shoulder bump you and hook your arm as we walk inside. I'm not even gonna give you a chance anymore. It's been decided. We're doing this.
Okay, I like it. So you're doing that. The two of you are arm in arm, walking right past Melody as she makes her way out or past you all into the parking lot. So the two of you go into the foyer. And you can see there are a lot of people still milling about in there. That window to that front office is open. It goes from navel to well above your heads. It's one of those types that's like a sliding door almost, but it's a window. And then you can see the desk behind it. And there you can see Sister Margaret, that's what her name was, standing there. She's kind of chatting with a couple of those other ladies, the greeter ladies that Aisha had seen before. Or actually, I think you all encountered them at one point or another. But she's over there talking to the two of them. You can just kind of hear them chatting back and forth. Do you want to try to listen in on their conversation, or are you just going to go up directly and interrupt it? Or do you want to wait until it's done?
I want to listen in. I don't want to just interrupt. Plus, this is possible good intel. So I do want to at least listen in casually and then jump in when it's a lull in the conversation, if you will.
Sure. Okay. Make for me a perception check.
22.
Very nice. You go over in that direction and you kind of hang back a little bit and you're just kind of pretending like you're chatting with Kat while actually listening to what's going on. Unfortunately, the conversation is not as exciting as you hoped it was. One of them is talking about their daughters just had a baby, and the mother's doing well, the baby is yada yada and so. Oh, so cute, blah, 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 blah. It's one of those type of grandma conversations. Mm-hmm. So not nearly as interesting as you were hoping for.
Fine. Well, once we get to a nice pause moment, I'll go. Okay. I'm so sorry, but I don't mean to interrupt, but can I borrow Sister Margaret for just a moment? There was something I would like to possibly discuss with her.
Give me a persuasion roll.
15.
Sister Margaret kind of looks a bit surprised, and the two ladies, they don't give you a taken aback vibe or anything like that. They just look at you and go, oh, no problem. We can talk later. Sister Margaret will talk later. And the two ladies go moving on. Sister Margaret looks at you kind of confused. Are the two of you together, or did you just approach?
I think I'm going to have it to where I'm just approaching it, and I want to turn my body as we're talking, kind of lead her to where she's looking at me, but her back is to the window.
Okay.
Of her office.
So are you going back into the office itself?
Oh, is that?
Because she's on the inside of it, speaking through the window on the outside.
Gotcha. Okay. I pictured that a little differently. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll go into the office to where her back is now facing the window itself, kind of turn.
Okay, so you, after asking to speak to her, you then walk around to the side. The door is open. It's kind of cracked. So you push it open a little bit, and you can see a little bit more of the office now. There is the desk like I described. There is a table directly ahead of you, which was on the right side when you were facing the window, that has an old TV monitor and a couple little boxes of a security system that you can see there are about 6 different screens on the monitor that show different positions around the church building. Those are all on, and you can definitely see them, and you can see people moving on the video screen, and you can actually see Melody walking across the parking lot at one point. But Sister Margaret turns to you and faces you while you're standing there, and she says, I'm sorry. Have we met before?
We have actually, just in passing, really. But let me reintroduce myself. Yes, I'm Salem. I'm actually a student at Coltrast Academy, and this is my first time really attending a service here. But I'm a member for some of the other programs that you guys do. Anyways, what I wanted to talk to you about is I really, really loved the music that you were performing today, and I wanted to talk about possibly seeing how I can get involved in it. At Coltrast, I'm actually the first chair celloist, and was hoping that maybe I could lend some of my skills to your great choir and band that you have here.
She definitely seems interested in this. When in the statement you make, her eyes kind of widen a little bit. She's like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. Give me one more persuasion check, but I'll also allow a performance check. This is you trying to keep her distracted and interested in what you have to say.
Shoot, they are the same. Let's hope for the best. Ooh. 12.
12. Okay. She begins talking a little bit about the worship service and the worship team, and how they are always interested in finding new people to join the band and assist with the music. And she starts talking a little bit about how they meet once a week on Thursdays to go over the music and yada yada yada. That sort of thing. While that's going on, Katrina, you had stayed back a little bit while Salem approached the window and had watched as Salem's talking to the lady, then goes around to the office, and now the two of them are standing there. Salem's positioned himself to where she has her back like a little more than halfway to you. Like she's kind of at an angle, but for the most part, she's got her back to you. So what are you doing?
I'll try to sneak in and take the book sneakily.
So you're just kind of walking over to the window and reaching in and grabbing?
Well, I'm not too sure where the book is, but wherever this book is.
So that's the first thing we should establish. Are you going to the window, or are you going into the office like Salem did?
She would look to see where the book is, to see what's an easier place to grab it.
Okay. So give me a perception check.
16.
Okay. You just start by walking towards the window, walking past it, and as you glance over, you can see that there are a couple books on the desk right in front there. One of them is a tight spiral black notebook, and there's another. It's not a book. It's just like a stapled stack of papers that is on top of it, and then the book is underneath. And it's right there on top of the desk. It's like maybe 2 feet away from the window, just kind of sitting there on the desk.
Is it easier to step inside and grab it than through the window?
Well, looking into the office itself, you can see her standing there with her back to the desk, her rear almost touching the seat that's pushed underneath the desk. Salem is standing there halfway between the door and her, so it would be difficult to get into there without being seen.
Oh, then she will try to reach for it from the window then, if that was the easier way.
Okay. So I want you to do 2 things. The first thing I want you to do is either make a stealth check or a performance check. This is you basically being nonchalant about grabbing at something or just doing it so sneaky that that nobody notices. Then the second thing I want you to roll. I can't remember if this. One sec. look at a character sheet because I just realized I'm thinking 5th edition, but that's probably not what I need to be thinking about. There isn't a sleight of hand check. So no, we're just going to go.
Usually we use coordination.
Coordination. That's right.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you. So the second one's going to be a coordination check.
Oh, stealth and performance is the same, so 19 stealth.
Nice.
Ooh, 9 coordination.
Can I give her my random Rhapsody coin? Or is it only for me?
Nope, you can absolutely hand over the coin if you want to.
Yeah, I think so. I don't want her to get caught for coordination, yeah.
That's fair. Go ahead and re-roll. There's that random Rhapsody coin.
Oh, 10.
A little
Only one
better.
better. I have a +6 too. Those are really bad rolls.
Well, I'm going
You
to...
could use a bond die. Yeah.
That's true. You could use a bond die.
That is what, 1d4?
Mm-hmm.
I always forget about those, except in school. I have no inspiration. 3, so 13?
13. Good news is that you rolled so well with your stealth, it lowered the DC of this, and you were aiming for a 12.
Let's go.
As you're walking by, you're very nonchalant about this. Nobody's really looking in your direction. Salem is doing a very good job of keeping the lady distracted, and you reach your hand in and you get your hook a finger in the spiral and kind of slowly slide it so the paper doesn't rustle or fall, and you're able to pick it up and pull it in through the door or through the window and slide it into your bag.
And then I think I will just wander around, look at the tree, kind of wait for Salem, and then head outside, wait at the door.
Yeah, let's get back to Salem real quick because Salem, Sister Margaret is talking to you about introducing you to the worship coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I think they're still up on the stage. If you want, I can take you over there right now and introduce you to them.
Absolutely, that would be great. I would really appreciate that.
Okay. She reaches up, closes the window real quick, then says, "Okay, let's go over there. We don't want to linger too long. He usually finishes up fairly quickly, so let's go. Let's go." And she kind of leads you, almost guiding you with a hand on your back out the door and into the chapel once again, where you are introduced to a Robert Peterson.
Okay.
Robert Peterson is the music coordinator, the worship coordinator here for the church. You kind of give him the same pitch you gave her, and he's like, "Oh yeah, having a cello player here would be amazing. Do you play any other instruments as well?"
I do. Cello is just my strong suit, but most stringed instruments I'm pretty proficient in. Violin is definitely second. Piano's up there as well. Haven't quite mastered all of them, but I'm pretty proficient with them.
Oh, absolutely. Well, sounds like you would fit right in here in the worship team. We practice every Thursday evening from 8 to 10. We also try to get together on Monday mornings for breakfast. But if you're going to school, that might be a little difficult for you. But those of us who aren't in school, we meet up every Monday morning and have breakfast down at Ambrosia Cafe and kind of talk about the service and everything we're doing. And what how we think we did during the last worship service and that sort of thing. And he keeps kind of talking more and more about that. So you're kind of stuck here for a little bit, Salem. But
I figured it would end up like that, and I'm just okay.
yeah. In the end, he's going to give you his number. He's going to try to get yours. It's up to you whether or not you give him that or.
I think because it is kind of, I'm going to be both a little honest, but also a little lie with this one. Currently, I live on my own and haven't quite gotten enough to get my own phone yet. So I do still just have to use public means of contacting people, phones and such. But we're hoping. My grandparents said they would send me a little bonus in the next month, but you know how it goes.
I'm sure we can assist you with finding a phone once you get a line installed in your place. We've got plenty here.
Wow, you guys really do everything. That is truly kind, and I'm so appreciative of just even offering. So,
while that's going on, Melody, you're out in the parking lot looking for James. One more perception check. Or you can use investigation if you want. Either one works.
I'll do perception. 12.
12. Unfortunately, you don't see him in the parking lot either.
That's all right. I'll talk to him later.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for everybody here.
Okay. Well, eventually, I feel like Salem is probably the last person to leave the church.
Yeah.
But eventually you are able to gather together once again. Probably about the same time that Damian is driving their car away from Hawthorne Theater.
I think my plan was to work straight through the first free phase.
Are you? Okay, my bad then.
Yeah, because I didn't work the day before, so I was hoping to get some budget tallies.
Absolutely. Well, so with that in mind, Damian is going to be working through the next phase. The four of you will then get together and just kind of talk about what you want to do. So let's do that real quick. We are now in our first free time phase. What's the plan? Or the next
I
free time
need a
phase?
moment of catharsis.
I think I was gonna, since we're close to this area, gonna go hang out with Bianca. Do hang out with a close friend, because I haven't hung out with her since she's been in the hospital. So I'll go see her while she's still resting up at La Roba General.
Okay. I like it.
Let's look at the list.
Where do we put our trauma? Because I can't remember if I've gotten any.
I think I added a box. There's like a little plus sign underneath all those little mana points HP. And when you hit the plus sign, you get 2 more boxes.
Okay, I see that, but I don't have a box, so I must not have gotten any.
I feel like I'm the only one who's gotten a trauma point so far.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah, I think so.
The rest of us have like crystalline fractures and maybe some stress points,
Yep.
but
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
in fact, I think it's just Ash and I that have 2 crystalline fracturing.
Yep. Still have 2 fractures. I think everything else is good. Is there anything that heals fractures or just sleep?
Sleep.
I got
So-
blue.
I'm trying to
I
find
think
the right
what
word.
I'm going to do is, oh yeah, you can heal fractures during your free time phase with the rest and relaxation. I think you have to do it alone though to do that. I I can't remember for sure which
Yes, that's
activity
correct.
it is. I just know you have to do it alone. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you are correct. It is rest and relaxation. If you do the activity alone, you may erase 1 crystalline fracture.
But you'll heal 2 when you sleep too. So if we don't get in combat,
Should be
you
fine.
won't.
Or if we don't get any more fractures in combat.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think what I want to do is go with Aisha wherever she's doing her moment of catharsis, and that way I can assist her with it. But then for my free time, I'm going to be reading Sirius's book.
Okay.
Look at that.
Okay, so we got a moment of catharsis. We've got hanging out with a friend. We've got reading Seriously's book. Kat, what are you doing?
I'm looking at the list. It took me a while to find it.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Oh, got it. You could read the ledger.
Is that an option?
I mean, certainly it is an option.
Is there a way that her and Melody could like go read together so they can get some like social point benefit? Or does that not?
Melody was going with Aisha for the moment of catharsis, I think.
Oh, that's right.
I think you could wait till the next investigation phase to read the, like, I don't think you should have to use your free time
Gotcha.
phase for that.
Yeah, there's not going to be any mechanical benefit for reading the ledger right now. But you could just open it up and look at it while you're on your way to whatever you're doing, and I can give you some information on it.
Well, we can all, are we planning to get together at some point to go over all this stuff and talk about the church?
I mean,
Yeah, maybe right before the patrol phase.
Yeah, that works for me. Let's all have a moment, and then we can meet back up before we patrol.
Mhm.
Fill Damian in with everything.
We should probably eventually do converse with the Herald, but I don't have any questions. Like nothing specific. I need to think of specific things to ask the Herald.
You could just hang out with them. You don't have to ask him things.
I thought the point was it to ask a question.
Or get
It's like a
inspiration.
secondary point. The main point is to get a point of inspiration. If you happen
there it
to
is.
roll high enough, you'll also get to ask a question, and we can, like, as above the table, discuss what you asked then.
Or you could just ask a question and none of us will be the wiser.
I mean, you can also just be like,
Well, she doesn't
Scrappy.
talk to the Herald. She needs to up her.
Scrappy, just give me some more.
Okay, so you want to hang out with the Herald?
She's gonna check in on him, see how he's doing. He was beat up. He was kind of drained last time she saw him.
That's true, actually.
Maybe a little better than he had been, but he still wasn't looking so great. So she will check in on the Herald.
Well, so are you going to do the free time activity converse with the Herald?
Yep.
Okay. So Kat is conversing with the Herald. Salem is spending time with a friend. Melody is foregoing free time phase to instead read up on Seriously's book. And Aisha is taking a moment of catharsis. But first, before we get into that, since Damian really hasn't had a whole lot of screen time yet, why don't we have you do your job first? Because that's the other thing that's going on. So for your part-time job, you let's see here. Need a little money, not just a little, but a lot. Maybe you've got your eye on something, whatever. Whatever it is, it's probably just a bit out of your reach, and that's what your job's for. Okay. Looks like you are going to be rolling a D4, and we're going to see what type of day you had.
Yeah. Let's go.
That is a rough day, a tough day. Ugh. This is why you hate having a job. You had to deal with an irate customer or coworkers or whatever all shift long, and that kind of sucks. So you are going to increase your stress by 1 and gain a budget tally. And here's the reason why your shift was so rough. Because what do people do immediately after getting out of church? Well, they go and do other stuff. And you basically just got hit by massive crowds of churchgoers who left there and went straight to the movie theater to have a movie afternoon. And you just got smacked by a huge horde of people.
Great. Awesome. Yeah. Love that for me.
Yeah.
Love that for me.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of Karens, and more than one person asked to speak to your manager during that shift.
Nice. Real cool.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Including the actual Karen from the gym.
Yes.
Awesome. My favorite person.
Yep, definitely. Karen from the gym was there, and she gave you the stink eye and gave you so much crap because you were there on your shift when bugging her, and so it's just basically payback.
Oh,
nice. I deserve it.
Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and bounce to the next two people. Let's go to Aisha and Melody. Aisha, you're doing a moment of catharsis, which is basically you attempt to find a place of peace and can't say that word. I'm going to try this one more time. You find a place of peace and tranquility so that you can attempt to purify some of the darkness clouding your soul crystal. This can be done alone or in the presence of your fellow Magi-Knight. Partaking in moments of catharsis could be done during a session of intense meditation, blah, blah, blah. So here's how it works. You got to attempt a purity check with a DC of 20. If you succeed, you get to remove 1 trauma point. If the trauma point you're attempting to remove is on the Terminator line, add +3 to the DC. You don't need to worry about that. Once per activity, each squadron member with you while you do the activity may roll a 1d4 and add it to your total. If your skill check exceeds 27, you may remove 2 trauma points instead. You may not use student abilities on this check.
Yeah. So I think that just because it's like the closest place, Aisha would suggest we go back to Melody's home. And her brother were very parallel play childs where they would like spend time together but not interact with each other at all. And she's just like sitting in Melody's room meditating, and like the good vibes are coming from just being in the same place as someone she cares about.
I like it. So,
and all of that was intended to build up for me to scroll down to the purity skill, but I forgot that I talk with my hands. Well, okay. I'm not going to get enough from that.
No, unfortunately not.
Even if I help? Because let's see. I'm checking, because I give you more now because we have higher friendship. I'm trying to check how much it is.
I was just gonna
does it? Because it just says I'm looking at the thing in the book, and it just says each squadron member with you adds a roll of 1d4 and adds it to the total.
I do remember the bond thing.
Yeah, that's. That's
Oh,
the
the
base amount.
Oh, so the bond ability increases that?
Yes, the Magi-Knight bond specifically increases it.
I forgot I was muted. It's called Comforting Comrade. Kira rolls either a 1d4 or a 1d6 if the friendship is high enough.
Got
Yeah,
it.
it says instead of rolling a 1d4, you now roll a 1d6. So would that be enough if I got a 6?
Even then, it wouldn't be. It would be an 18.
Shoot.
Clarification. When it says student abilities cannot be used, does that include my
No, you can use your bond. Your bond.
Well,
it just means you can't automatically make it a 20 with an inspiration point. Is what it's saying.
Yeah, so it's just your student ability.
Let me very quickly use my bond ability from my brother.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me roll mine first because all right. I was gonna say if it's not enough, it won't matter.
Well, right now,
I was gonna declare that immediately, and I rolled enough, so you get a 6 now.
yeah, if you get a 6.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Do you have another bond ability? You can use both. I think.
Let me.
You'd have to have somebody at 30, somebody else at 30.
Yeah, I don't think I have anyone else.
Ash, I keep wanting to call you Kat, and I have to correct it in my head.
No, I don't have any other non-Magi-Knights above 29.
Okay, shoot.
Good try.
Is it 20?
Yeah.
I have a question. Kat was just going to talk to the Wanderer. She could have went with them.
Oh, it's just 20, Aisha. It's not actually 30. Sorry. It's called a friendly bond.
I assume the Herald doesn't count, though.
Well, no, but if Katrina went with the two of you and she's there with you, she could add a 1d4 to this as well.
Yeah. Actually,
3.
Or 1d6 if your SP is high enough.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Katrina, 31 for me, so Comforting Conrad. 1 is unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm lower than that. I'm only at 24.
Okay.
Okay,
That's fine, isn't it?
Well, right now we're at a 17, which means you need to roll a 3 to make it a 20.
Is it a
I think
6 or a
Comforting
4 that
Comrade
I
is
roll?
earlier.
D6.
Oh,
You're rolling a D6.
cool.
Oh, 2.
Oh.
That's fine.
Oh,
Mother!
It was fate. It's fate.
But you're friends with the Herald.
It's fine.
As we just established, the Herald doesn't count. But trauma's not that easy to get over. Sometimes it takes a few attempts.
It does. It does. I mean, it was a valid effort from you all. We're not sure whether or not the Herald is here yet. Kat went with you, and then you're going to call out to the Wanderer, and that's going to be your mysticism check. Now, if you make the mysticism check, he is going to show up, and he will talk to you. If not, you're just getting that point of inspiration.
Can I mention something real briefly? There's something called Shoulder the Burden. When you're involved in a moment of catharsis, you may take 1 stress point to reduce the difficulty of another Magi-Knight's catharsis DC by 2. So if somebody wants to take a stress point, Kira would be the one.
Anybody can do it?
Oh, sorry. Is that a student skill? My bad. I think that's just
know.
that's a social tactic. My bad.
Yeah. So
Nobody
that's
has that.
No.
Got it. Yeah, that's a social tactic. My bad. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no worries. Worth a try. Unfortunately, not enough. And Kat, go ahead and roll your mysticism.
9.
9. So, calling out to the Herald, you hear a voice in your head, Kat, just you, saying, I'm gonna be okay. Sorry, I just really low on energy right now, but I'll talk to you all later. That's all he says.
Okay.
But you do have a point of inspiration, so that's always nice.
Yep.
As far as Melody, how many tallies are you in on Sirius Lee's book?
I have 4. And I
Okay.
can't remember how many you told me the total was.
I think you just need one more.
I'm
That's
looking
what
right now.
You were close.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have it written down that you have one more.
Each time the book is read as a free time act. Okay. So, while your friends are sitting there, Kat trying to call out to the Herald and failing, Aisha meditating, trying to center herself, you sit down and pull out Sirius Lee's book, and you begin to read through it. And you do finish reading the book.
Finally.
Let's see here.
That's his other name. It's Seriously and Finally.
No, Final is his cousin.
Oh, I get it mixed up.
Yeah. There's also Kind, and I'm not going to run this joke.
No.
I'm not going to do that joke. There's too much of it.
Bitterly.
Bitter, yeah. There's a lot of Lees, so that's why I said I'm not going to do it.
Do it. I'm such an enabler. I'm sorry. I'll shut.
Anyway, Melody. Here's the gist of the book. As I've said before, that this unassuming book was written by Sirius Lee, a globe-trotting American and antiquarian who lived during the 1920s. It was a difficult read. It was a lot. The text details an encounter Lee had with a family of mystics in the Jordan River Valley, whom he stayed with for several weeks during one of his journeys. Lee describes participating in several rituals where he communicated with a strange sort of being, that he first mistook for spirits or ghosts. These beings are never described, and the conversations he has are vague and out of context for the reader, primarily due to the fact that Lee references other volumes of his own diaries with no other description. Eventually, Lee reasons out that the beings he communicated with are not ancestors like he originally believed, but were in fact creatures from another plane of existence outside of his own. The written account details more than meets the eye, and seems to hint that its deceased owner had learned about something he called visitors from beyond. The record also details accounts of solid walls morphing into substances of skin-like plasticity, documentation of horrible screeches throughout the night, seemingly esoteric concepts of other worlds, the potential existence of alternate realities, and the bridges to those places. The journal ends abruptly, and the last 2 pages are actually blank. And the last has 2 blotches of red on the outer edge. But in reading over the book, something kind of sticks out to you. There's this line towards the last pages, something about prickling thumbs, and there's a Shakespeare quote. Damn it, I just blanked it. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Mm-hmm.
That line is expressly written in one part of the book. So I'm also going to be sending you a little bit of information.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm just going to read it out. I'm not going to keep this one hidden. You're reading an understanding of this book. You're fairly certain that hint I gave you, the pricking of your thumbs, and those drops, those red blotches, you're fairly certain are bloody fingerprints.
Hmm. I can't remember. Was it in this book or a different book that James was reading that there was... I can't remember if it was blood or some other mark on it, and then I tested his hand near it, and it was the right size.
It was this book, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's his blood, I'm guessing, in the back. Okay. So I'm just taking my notes. Okay, so is that the main info I get?
I'd like for you to make for me a purity check.
Okay. $18.
There is this compulsion in you that you feel. You really want to test out those bloody thumbprints. And the idea strings into your mind of trying it out yourself with your own. But with your 18, you can resist that urge if you want to. But for a moment, there's that, those intrusive thoughts. And the intrusive thought was cutting your thumbs and putting it right there on those marks.
Like on the exact same spot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was your intrusive thought.
That's how you get AIDS. I don't want to do that. They taught us about that in school.
Well, actually, yeah, this is the 90s. That would be something they would suggest.
Yeah, AIDS scare.
Yeah.
It's a little sad, but fair enough.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was an intrusive thought, but you were able to push it best, and you're like, I don't know. But so it's up to you. It's not compulsory. It's just a thought that popped in your head.
Yeah, I think for now I'm going to resist it because I'll talk to James about it first.
Okay. Let's see. Last but not least, we have Salem. Salem, you decided to head over to La Ropa General and check in on Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
You know where she's, you know what floor she's on? You actually find her still there. Still loaded up, still has the, an IV in her and is still in a hospital gown on her bed. The rest of the ghost hunting club is there with her as well. When you arrive, she kind of smiles and is like, "Oh, Salem, it's good to see you. I wasn't expecting you. How are you doing?"
I'm good. Just wanted to check on my favorite paranormal investigators. How are you feeling? How's things going?
Bored. I'm definitely bored. Other than that, like, I still feel pretty drained and pretty weak, but the doctors say that I should be feeling better soon.
Fantastic.
Hopefully they're right.
I'm gonna trust them, and I brought a little bit of entertainment and pulled out a notebook. So I've been gathering a little intel on all the recent gossip going on at school, so you're up to date on everything. And so I'm just gonna start just spreading all like the high school drama that's been accumulating while they've been gone. So-and-so's now dating so-and-so. Nobody's touched their room. I've made sure of it. The paranormal room is still protected or good. Just like all that sort of stuff, filling a bit on it.
Yeah, love it. So you need to make for me either an influence or a persuasion check.
It's about the same either way. Yeah, 14.
14's better than the DC of 12. So you're going to gain 2 social points with Bianca.
Nice.
Yeah, you have a good time just chatting for a couple hours with her. Dishing the tea and all that. You know how much Salem loves tea.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, Bianca's spirits are a little bit more lifted. She's kind of peaked up a little bit, and she's talking about, hopefully she's going to be back in school in the next couple days. Right on. Okay, so that's it for your free time phase. Let's see here. Done our free time phases. We've done our investigation phase. Is there one more free? Wait a minute. There's 2 free time phases on Saturday or Sunday, so we got one more to do. Okay. Yeah, we went straight from. If I remember, we didn't do the free time phase the first one, right? I'm not
Correct.
misremembering.
We started with investigation.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Just making sure. It's been like a month. Just making sure I wasn't misremembering. But yeah, so we've completed an investigation phase and 1 free time phase. So you all have 1 more free time phase to do whatever you want with. So what's the plan? What do y'all want to do for your next free time phase?
I want to circle up with everybody. So I'm gonna get on the communicator and find out what people are doing. Because as soon as my shift's over, I'm not gonna work a double. I'm just gonna GTFO. But my hope is if Aisha wants to do another moment of catharsis, is to link up and be there for that.
Mm-hmm.
Can't hear you, Aisha.
You're
Can't
still
hear you.
muted.
There's a lot of loud noises outside today, so I keep muting myself.
No worries.
We can do squadron outing, and I'll get a social point.
If you do what?
A squadron outing. All do something together.
Sure, works for me.
I'm flexible.
You're not going to get any information. I think Salem at that is going to go, yeah, I'm at the hospital right now. And not explain, just immediately hang up.
Hospital? Are you okay?
Awesome. Well, yeah, if somebody has a strong preference about what we could do, I am very flexible on how we spend our time. If Aisha wants to do a moment of catharsis, I am there for that.
I feel like I can flavor me doing a moment of catharsis at any location. But the easiest one might be the arcade.
Ooh, we haven't done arcade in a hot minute.
And you all can do rolls for, cool arcade rewards. And I can yell really loudly on the DDR machine. Wait, it's probably still pump it up at 96.
Ugh.
Does everybody want to do the arcade?
Works for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Absolutely. Okay. So after confirming with everybody, you kind of have to make the big O trek to go from where everybody is all over the place. Half of you are at Melody's house. Damian, you're actually really close to Bright Crystal Arcade, being at Hawthorne Cinema. So after a few minutes, you all arrive at Bright Crystal Arcade. You have a great time playing around at the arcade and kind of all just hang out together. You are able to heal 1 stress point if y'all have one. I know, Damian, you have a stress point from the last phase, so that's going to heal up. You're also able to do the arcade crane game. Now, once you all arrive there, you all do hear the voice of the Wanderer say, "Hey, I know that I'm kind of feeling a little rough right now, but I still love tchotchkes, and if you're able to get anything off the arcade crane game, I'd be very happy to trade stuff with you. Just let me know. I'm not gonna go down there, but we'll link up. So if you're able to do the crane game, by all means." Let's do these real quick. Aisha, are you going to do the crane game as well, or are you going to try for another moment of catharsis?
I'm going to try for another moment of catharsis. Watching everyone on the crane machine while also pumping it up.
I like it. I like it. So, let's do that roll real quick before we have everybody else do their crane game. So you are going to need to make another purity skill check, Aisha. And then everybody here who are able to help are going to be rolling either a D4 or a D6, depending on what friendship level you are with Aisha.
You don't need to roll anything. Oh, wait, you still don't. I only
Still
have
can.
1 trauma. You can. Oh, but that's a 21 total.
Wow.
Kudos.
Very nice.
Sometimes
things just work. So if you all, it doesn't matter because Aisha only had the 1 trauma point, but if y'all want to see if you can hit the 27 for the fun of it, go for it.
Yeah.
we're all rolling D6s, yeah?
If you have Comforting Comrade with me.
I think we only need 20 social points for that, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think we're all at 20 with each other at a minimum.
We are.
We're gonna hit...
Wow.
You hit it already.
You already hit it,
34.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's go.
So this is proactive, right? The next trauma point is...
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wouldn't that be nice?
It would. It would be so nice.
Made Aisha feel so loved that she's immune to her next trauma point.
But at the very least, Aisha, after hanging out with your friends and rooting them on and playing some games together, you feel a lot better, and that trauma that you received just slips away.
The friends were nice, but the high score on Pump It Up was really what did it.
Totally.
Fair enough.
Totally.
Okay, Damian, Melody, Salem, Kat, roll for me a D100. You're all aiming for a 70 or higher.
It's a tough game.
It is a tough game. Okay, Damian, what'd you get?
58.
Melody.
11.
Ouch. Salem.
85.
Nice. Kat.
79.
79. So the two of you actually do get something. For 70 to 79, you gain a Shard of Rarity 1 or a gift worth 1 social point. For that 85, you gain a Shard of Rarity 2 or less, or a gift worth 2 social points. So what do you want to take? Do you want a shard, or do you want to keep the tchotchke?
I'm gonna keep the tchotchke. I've got the shards already, so we're gonna... Yeah.
So What
Okay.
is the gift worth a social point?
It's
What does
whatever
that
you
mean?
want it to be. So it's we've just been saying it's whatever you got from the crane game. You can give it to somebody else and gain 1 social point with them.
I've never won anything on this, so
Usually like stuffed animals or statues or toys or little goofy things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find the shard list to see what level 1 shards are.
Let me
Chapter
see.
8. I don't
Yeah.
remember the page number.
The only rarity 1 is a Shard of Mending. And then it goes up to rarity 2 with Clarity and Confidence.
So there you go. It's a shard of mending. Do you have a shard of mending?
I think I used it last battle.
So now you got another one. Unless you want the gift of the gift instead.
I will get the shard, then I don't have to buy it.
Perfect. So you get your little tchotchke out of there, and you're like, nah, I don't need this, and you set it down on the table and kind of think to yourself that you're to let the wanderer know that you want to trade, and then you look over at the thing, and instead you see the shard of mending on the table.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the cool tchotchke here. It's really neat.
He's so sweet.
Enjoy it.
And then just to clarify, because we're doing the two free time phases, we get a social point for last time, like the extra one, and then an extra social point for this one for those who did not do like a social thing. Correct.
Yes. So for the last one, everyone has 1 that they put into whatever they want. For this phase, you get 2, but you got to use that second one within the group.
Okay.
So we get 2 for this, and we can give it to anyone.
I think Melody, I'm giving one to you because I feel like we bonded over not getting anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll do that too.
I'm gonna give one to Aisha because moment of catharsis and all that. A lot of support.
I don't know who to give it to.
I have 3 people at 24 and 1 at 37 now.
I have 3 at 24 and 1 at 36.
Clarification. In Squadrotizing, in the book, it says if the entire Magi-Knight team chooses to do the same activity and only with each other, no NPCs, everyone gains 1 social point with each Magi-Knight.
Oh,
So we
nice.
get 1 each?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
Neat.
Nice. So everyone's
So
getting
1
1
each, so we
with
don't have
each
to-
Magi-Knight, and then you have 1 extra to spend as you wish.
Yeah.
I,
1 extra.
okay, so that's 1 for everybody, and then I'm gonna give my extra to Melody. Yeah.
The extra, does it have to be one of the Magi-Knights?
Not
Yeah,
necessarily.
because
Yeah,
well,
could be an NPC that's in the arcade.
Yeah.
Or can
well-
the Wanderer have it?
Sure. I'm fine with that.
Give 1 to the Wanderer since Kat gave him the little
Okay.
thingy.
Oh, would that be 2 then? Are you gonna give him the gift as well?
No, I switched the little prize I got to get the shard.
Yeah.
I can
Gotcha.
take it.
See.
Salem
Oh, I
has the
see.
gift.
Okay. Got it. I missed that. My apologies.
So I'll give the Wanderer 1 more.
Okay. And Salem, what is your gift? What do you got?
I haven't decided what to do with it, but I'm imagining it's definitely not a Pokemon. It's something else, but like the really off version where the eye is slightly off center a little bit, but it's on a key. It's a keychain.
Okay, I love it.
Like Pal World.
Yeah, exactly.
Pal.
Yeah.
Nice.
But one eye is always looking just a little bit on the
wrong way.
right.
I like it.
I love that.
Well, I think this is actually an excellent place to pause and go on break. So we will be back in about 10 minutes, folks. And when we return, our heroes are going to be stepping into their patrol phase. Let's find out what happens here as soon as we come back. So stay tuned. Howdy, everybody. We are back. And when we last left off, our heroes were finishing up their investigation or their free time phase and are now going to be stepping into their patrol phase. So basically, you guys kind of closed out Bright Crystal Arcade. You are the last group to leave. The manager says goodbye to you all and locks the door behind you so you can't get back in. And it is now the evening time. It's about, patrol phase is about 9 to midnight, so it's about 9 o'clock in the evening at this point. The city is starting to shut down a little bit, but, there are the late night goer and bar crowd and that sort of thing that are still out. So, here's my question to you all. Do you have any place in particular you're planning on patrolling this evening? Or are you just kind of going to drive around and see what you can find?
What's the call, Captain?
Well, I mean, we found some pretty interesting things. I don't know if we're churched out or if we want to actually survey it at night.
Did we want to flip through the ledger before we go on patrol?
That actually is a very good idea.
Might change our minds what we're gonna do.
I like your plan, co-captain.
That would be like the music was just so off. Like there was like this second discordant thing
and you
going
watch
on.
Salem cringe as you mention it. I had just blocked it out of my head. Why?
They need to get some lessons or something else was going on there.
Exorcism. But yeah, let's take a look at that ledger, see what we find.
So we flip through the ledger.
Yeah, okay. You're going to go ahead and sit down and flip through the ledger and kind of look through everything that's within it. You're doing this probably just... where are you doing this? Here's my first question. Because you just left the arcade. Are you just going to do it in the car in the parking lot? Okay, fair enough.
It's the 90s. It's not too unheard of to just kind of chill out like that.
No, not at all. I'm just wanting to know how to set the stage. So all of you are in Damian's SUV, kind of cramped up in there. You have the lights on. You're underneath a street light, so you have some extra light. And you begin looking through the journal. I need whoever is... whoever's heading this, whoever's leading this, to make for me an investigation check.
Ash? It's your...
I mean, I can do it if you want me to, Ash.
I don't know who wants...
These are your spoils, Ash. Do you want to read them or not?
Take the roll.
I just don't know if Kat has the best investigation. Hers isn't bad, but...
I've got a +4.
I have a
Kat's is a
+6.
5.
Go ahead, Kat. You did this. You earned
My
this.
rolls have been up and down.
Regardless of the outcome, it's...
Nat 20 for 25.
Nice.
This is why you never...
Done.
Gambler's policy to think anything that's happened before matters. Every roll is a 1 in 20 chance for every number.
Done. Excellent.
Beautiful.
I couldn't be prouder.
Can't hear Matt.
Oh yeah, Matt, you're
muted.
muted.
I'm muted, sorry. Okay, so here's what you find. And it's some interesting stuff here. The first part of the ledger is actually an actual legitimate ledger. It's numbers, mostly. It's a recording of tithes, money that the church gets from either organizations or from people. And while it doesn't give names, other than like some of the numbers are associated with like businesses and business donations, but then there's also like a tally of weekly just every week they pass around a tithe basket. You saw it happen while you were in the middle of it. And people were just dropping money in. Some people were dropping checks in, that sort of thing. So the tallies are in the journal: cash, check, and then organizational donations. It's in those three categories. And what you're able to glean from this is there's a lot of businesses that are giving to this church, and there's a lot of money coming through it. Looking through the numbers, and I'm sure at least one of you is fairly decent at math. What you're able to tell is that over the last year, donations have been increasing exponentially.
Bullshit, there isn't any obligation from the community to the church.
The church is flush. And the next section of the ledger is notes on meetings that have been going on there at the church. It kind of details a lot of the outreach program that the church has. There's names of specific locations that they're planning events at. You notice that Ambrosia Cafe is a place that they tend to use quite a bit, but also Sweet Dreams Confectionery is a location that they get a lot of pastries from. And you notice...
Uh-oh.
What was that?
You're back?
No, I heard somebody talking in the background. It was weird.
Oh, sorry. It's my family. I'll mute my mic.
Oh, okay. No worries. It just kind of threw me off for a second. Like I heard a kid talking. Anyway, so where was I? Oh, Sweet Dreams Confectionery is a place that they seem to be focusing on. There's a lot of talk about acquiring this property, going all the way back to the beginning of the year. Acquiring said property and using it for the ministry. There's no real details on what it's being used for, other than the fact that it has a list of dates of different events that they're planning on doing with the group, with the place. The thing that's relevant in this is that it is owned by Gidim Development. You also see that the most recent upcoming event is actually happening in about a week, next Saturday. They're doing kind of a big raffle drive there in the morning, and then in the early evening, they're actually going to be holding a worship service there to kind of try to attract more parishioners. That's a hard word. Parishioners to join the church. So they're doing a raffle and a drawing and a big kind of event during the day, and then in the evening they're having a worship service there at the cafe at Sweet Dream Confectionery. Then you kind of start going through the notebook and aim towards the back, and the last section of the book talks a little bit about confessions that have been given. There's a lot about AA there, and while it doesn't have any names listed in there, it talks a lot about different people's problems. The way she labels the names, or the not the names. The way she labels each confession is kind of weird. It's like man or woman, age, and then an article of clothing. So most of the ages that you're seeing throughout the AA section of this notebook kind of talks about wide ranges from early 20s to in their 60s. Judging based on the numbers, there's got to be at least a dozen different people that they have taken notes on. And a lot of it's talking about the types of addictions they have, things they like about it, things they've talked about in church. There's a lot of details about like where, like living conditions and stuff like that. But then as you're flipping, sorry, what was that, Aisha?
I was gonna say, if they're Catholics, they would be excommunicated from the greater church so fast.
Yeah, but this isn't.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Has any of them, possibly Salem or Melody, who went to an AA meeting before?
Yeah, I was
Within those
curious about that too,
descriptions?
actually.
I was as well.
Did either of you actually, I believe Salem, you stood up and spoke. And
I did.
yes, there is a little bit of a write-up of a male teenager about 17 is what it's written down. I can't remember what you're wearing that day, but that is marked off as well. And just a very brief description of showed up for the first time, spoke, should follow up is written under it in a different ink pen and a different hand. But because you rolled that nat 20, there's something else that you find. As you're looking through the journal, something falls out of it. It's a folded piece of paper. You pick it up and you open it up, and you notice that it's a sketch of Pastor Bishop. It's done from a side profile. But as you're looking closer, you also see that it was drawn over hastily scratched words. Like you kind of turn it over and you can see its the imprints of the lettering on the back. And 1 second here. You're reading it, and it says things like, Pastor Bishop is fabulous. Pastor is wonderful. True man of God. True soldier of peace. You see, as you kind of look close, and you see the eyes on the profile, and the way they shade it in is a bunch of little hearts over and over and over again until filling out the whole thing. It's kind of creepy.
No light.
I knew Sister Margaret was obsessed with him.
She's not even subtle about it, but like, this is a new level. Ooh.
She's secretly a teenage girl, drawing little hard eyes.
So funny.
I hate this so much.
I know it's like
Well,
the symbol for a heart, but my brain imagined like little, like atomically correct hearts.
Gross.
Oh no.
ew.
That's just disturbing.
Well, this, I mean, kind of furthers some of my like theories on things that like, I know we talked about like a lot of these high profile areas being related to certain cardinal sins. I mean, this kind of feeding into that theory, because this is, am I crazy in thinking this is probably a lust related thing?
Oh.
Is there a lust symbol on there somewhere?
I
The heart?
Maybe.
I mean, with the reactions to the pastor, I mean, her alone, my God.
The old
Go
lady
ahead.
seemed really infatuated.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any addresses in the ledger? Like, perhaps for this lady?
Personal addresses? No, there's not. There is a list of businesses, businesses that donate to the church. There's that, but other than that, there's no physical addresses in there.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, if we're going to check out a place besides the church, Ambrosia Cafe has come up multiple times today for me.
Ambrosia Cafe, is that okay?
That's
yeah,
right by my
Ambrosia
apartment.
Cafe, and then we also, well, that wasn't on the radar at all before, was Sweet Dreams Confectionery.
Agreed.
But apparently they're having something there next Saturday.
Yeah, I think we should do the event on Saturday and make sure we take note of when it is so that we don't accidentally miss it again, and then head over to Ambrosia Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Because Ambrosia Cafe also catered the last event that they had in the park. So there's a thread there.
I hope
Oh.
they're not evil. That's where I get my teas.
No, I buy
Maybe
my
that's
gum
why-
at Sweet Dreams.
That's why you haven't been feeling as awake as you should, right? It's because every time you buy a tea from there, they're siphoning a bit of the soda.
Siphoning your energy through tea? Hey, the cafe isn't going to be open.
I know, which is why it's a good time to scope it out.
Mm-hmm. See if there's a little crystal in the back.
It doesn't hurt to investigate.
What do we want to do with the ledger? Do we want to dump it back at the church somehow? Or just... Oops, it was outside in a bush somehow.
I think we should hang
I
on to
do
it.
think we should.
We
Oh,
I
what's
think
up?
at some point we should give it back, but keep the love picture, whatever you want to call that thing.
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean, we could easily
I think
just...
it's funny.
The problem is, both the player and Salem remembered, they have cameras everywhere. And I know that technically, yes, we won't be picked up on it. I'm trying to keep this as low profile as I can. I don't want them to even know that somebody messed with it. I would rather she thinks she misplaced it than somebody stealing it, you know?
I mean, the drawing falling out of the book, I don't know if we know where that was in the book, so I think to a degree...
The book itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have cameras all over, in her office was big screens viewing the entire, church.
You're saying don't return it.
If we are,
That's
we
what
have
I'm
to be
saying, we
smart
should
about
do
it. We have to do it in very secretive, subtle ways. We can't just run up and
Force a transformation so that we don't show up on camera.
Yeah.
I'd like to make photocopies of it before we return it, just in case there's pertinent information in there that will help. Not all justice is done in armor, So if there's actually sign of corruption in these businesses and the way that they're using the church to maybe launder money or something, I think that's worth keeping track of. So until we photocopy it, I think we need to hang on to it, and I'm willing to volunteer to be the one to hold on to it if necessary.
You'd be a new face. They wouldn't recognize you.
You weren't there. Okay. Yeah, we'll give Damian the ledger.
Well,
So-
yes, go ahead.
Church or cafe? What are you thinking?
Well, we know that the church, there's something going on there. I mean, am I crazy at thinking that? But with the cafe, it's an unknown. So I think I would rather investigate the cafe and the candy shop and just either check them off as we found nothing, there is nothing, and not worry about it, or if there is something, see what it is.
I think we should do the confectionery first. I think we should drive by there, see if there's anything going on, or drive, park nearby and do a patrol there. And if nothing's going on and we still have time, then circle around to Ambrosia Cafe. That's my vote. Thoughts?
Where are these places on the map?
Sweet
Good
Dreams
question.
is a little bit down by the river, beside Wonderland, and then, like I said, Ambrosia's by Salem's directly below us.
Okay, so they're in opposite directions. I see. Cool. Well,
I'm fine with hitting up one or the other. I mean, doesn't really matter. They both need to be checked out. So
Let's go to Sweet Dreams.
perfect. Works for me.
yeah, they
Sweet
might be like
dreams.
loading or doing something. Yeah.
You can go by Sweet Dreams, and then, well, you can aim to drop Salem off first and drive to Ambrosia Cafe.
Yeah.
No.
I live
I don't
there. I
hate
can
that.
check it out whenever.
Let's focus on one thing at a time. Who
Yeah.
knows how
Yeah.
long Sweet Dreams will take?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. We're on the same page.
I will also point out, just to muddy the waters, that technically speaking, if you go to Sweet Dreams Confectionery first and then cross the river and then head towards Ambrosia Cafe, you will be passing Sacred Hearts Church. Or at least
True.
you could, if you
We
wanted
could do
to.
a quick sweep. Yeah. It's.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Car
Words
drive
from
by.
above.
And Sacred Heart Church is where the church is, right?
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
not at St. Mary's Cathedral. Okay.
No.
Those are,
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
St.
Yeah,
Mary's
I
is
see
a different. Now
That's a
kind of
different cult.
close.
Yeah, defunct, right? Okay, cool.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the Catholic Church, St. Mary's
Right.
Cathedral, the one that's losing members. You went there
Yeah.
early in your in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're heading to Sweet Dreams Confectionery first, which is, a baked goods kind of place that does candies and different sort of sweets and stuff like that. Melody buys her gum from there, so you know it fairly well, and you can absolutely guide them all to the location. Doesn't take you too long to get there. It's only about 11 and a half miles away from where you are at Bright Crystal Arcade. But surprising no one, when you pull up towards the building, it's located in, it's kind of like in one of those strip malls, where it's like a big O building with a bunch of different shops and locations in it, and one of them is the confectionery. And the whole storefront is nothing but glass windows and a big glass door. And although the shades are like half drawn on the thing, you can still clearly see the fact that there are no lights on inside. But that's what you see just as you drive past it. Or drive up to it, I should say, because you would park in the parking lot. Are you planning on getting out and checking things out, or were you just going to do a drive-by?
I think my hope, generally when we're on patrol, is to like drive by as if nobody's none the wiser, just look like a normal family vehicle driving home or whatever. But like look and make a perception check or something and see if any of us see anything happening, like people loading and unloading in a docking bay or something, or through the back. And if we don't see anything, then like, yeah, let's hit up. Maybe head to the church.
Got it.
And we
Okay.
check Crystal too in case.
Can I also say that I unloaded about the movie theater stuff that happened at the arcade or here on the drive?
Yeah, you could.
Just like
You
said,
all.
like,
Yeah, I'm sure during the
Comment.
arcade time, you all compared notes and talked about the different things you found at the church and at the movie theater and all that. So that everyone is aware about the film festival that's going on Halloween.
I'm so excited though. Do you think they'll play Rocky Horror?
that's not a horror. And then we're driving by.
So in other words, the drive to Sweet Dreams Confectionery is basically a giant argument about Rocky Horror. I'm down for that.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely down for
It's
that.
an art piece. It's cult classic. Don't call it horror. It's not. Anyway.
You find horror is like anti-art?
Look, that's a different conversation that we do not have time for.
Okay, so everybody gets one roll. Damian, your roll is going to be your nonchalant roll. You can either do a You can either do a stealth check or a performance check. This is just you driving unsuspiciously and making sure that you're not like sticking out. So that's your roll. As for the rest of you, you can either roll a perception check or, Kat, I know I heard you say you want to make a mysticism check with your crystal to see if there's any activity going on, that sort of thing. So whoever's wanting to make rolls, go ahead and make your rolls.
Cat always wants to check.
Oh, shoot.
But
I did persuasion instead of performance.
Oh, what's
I can do the mysticism.
Well, just add the difference between the two modifiers to that total.
You rolled a 17, so.
That's a 24 then.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Nice.
Nice.
Damn!
We need to quit. We've got 2 nat 20s. We're done.
Yeah, everyone rolled enough.
I'm perception for nat 20.
The cat hasn't rolled anything yet. Is there anything missing that we should roll? We have a mysticism, we have a perception.
Roll whatever you were going to in the first place.
You're the one saying you wanted to roll a mysticism check.
She always wants to check her crystal, and she's not very good at it.
Well, can't win them all.
You're significantly better than me. If I had done that, I would have gotten a 3.
It's true.
I get +7, so don't feel bad.
I would have got a 2. I have my 2 to mysticism.
Wow.
Okay. Damian, you are very skilled at driving nonchalantly. You kind of pull into the parking lot, you go around the front of the building, curve around it so everybody can look in those windows, then you kind of circle around back, drive through the back area where all the dumpsters are and the loading dock is, and you draw no attention whatsoever. Salem, you don't really see a whole lot. Kat, you hold out your crystal. No glow, nothing like that. Melody, with your 21, you are very convinced there's nothing going on here at this location, at least from a magical, otherworldly, others standpoint. Aisha, with your 21, driving past the front, you don't actually see anybody in there. It looks like it's completely closed off and shut down. But when you drive around the back, you get to the point where the door, you can see that back door, and there is a light because in the window above the door. It looks like there's a light on in the kitchen, in the back area.
They're still baking. That's weird.
Not necessarily.
What time is it?
It's about 9:30.
In the evening?
Close, maybe quarter to 10. About 10 o'clock. Actually, yeah. Because you spent some time reading through the journal. So let's say 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I feel like places like this will work late into the night or early in the morning to prepare for the next day. And because confectionery isn't as sensitive as donuts or pastries or bakeries, I feel pretty confident that they're probably just normal working right now. But that's my vote.
Melody, this is your normal stomp. Do you want to check it out a little bit more, or are you at ease to move on?
Since we didn't sense anything magical, I think it's okay to move on if you think something else is more priority, but if you'd like to investigate, we can.
No, I think that's a good call. Let's move on to the next stop while the night is still young. And you're here pretty frequently, so if you notice anything another time, we'll hit it up again, but I'm glad we could at least make sure that there's nothing right now.
You got that Wonka gum? Turning violet!
We could check out that event next weekend if we don't get anything before then.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, cool. Sacred Hearts Church it is.
Okay. Driving past the confectionery, you start making your way south to go across the river and then head towards Sacred Hearts Church. It's about 10:30-ish as you pull onto the road that goes past the church. Everyone actually, I'm not even going to make a perception check for this because your passive perceptions would be able to note this fact. After all, it is dark, and other than street lights and occasional buildings still illuminated, for the most part, it's pretty damn dark. As you're driving past the church, you will see that one of the windows is illuminated with light. The curtains are drawn on it. You can't see anything inside, and you're on the street, so there's quite a bit of a distance between you and the building. But as you're kind of turning and driving down that street, you do see that one of the rooms, one of the lights are on in the church. And there is a single car in the parking lot.
I mean, churchmen sleep at this church the same way teachers sleep at the school, right?
Yeah.
Teachers
Scientifically,
sleep at
that's how that
school.
works. We don't have to go in a group, but I do kind of want to see if I can peer in a little bit. It's a little sus.
Wondering whose car it is.
If you want to check that out, I can go check the window.
I don't know how to tell whose car it is.
You break in.
Oh.
I mean, if you want to, I think we got tools somewhere. Hold on, let me reach in my bag. I might have something.
Why would
Go to
it say
park.
in the car who it is?
I'm gonna park down the street. License and or registration. Yeah.
Wouldn't that
Some
be in
people
the
put their
wallet?
driver's license in the glove compartment, and some or in the sun visor.
People generally keep their registration in the glove compartment.
Plus, it's 1996. Most people
it's
don't
like-
lock their doors at this time.
It's like pretty big document.
Mhm.
There's like multiple pages.
True.
Yeah. I mean, I'm willing to support this plan. I'll park down the street away from the church a little bit, and then I think I'll get close to maybe check my soul crystal nearby.
Okay.
Can we check, like, are we able to tell what part of the church's window is in? Is it in a part we've been in or haven't been in?
It's a part that you haven't been in yet. It's judging based on where the window is on the outside of the building, you're kind of guessing it's the office in the back area behind that front, that front secretary's office.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It might be Pastor Bishop's office or something,
That would make sense.
but it's not Sister Margaret's office.
No. Well, it might be, unless she has two. If she has two, but that's why I want to double check. I want to look in.
If somebody goes in, they can leave the book. No, actually, we're making copies of the
No,
book.
we figured
Yeah.
that out. We're good with that. We have a game plan.
Okie dokie.
Okay. So, Damian continues to drive past the church and then park a couple blocks away. Who is heading to the church? I know I heard Salem say you want to go in there. Is everybody going towards the building?
Can I check something with the ledger first before? And maybe this is just what I do, and I don't do my soul crystal thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
All everybody else's stuff.
Okay.
Okay. I'll wait until everybody says what they're going to do. And
Yeah,
then I can
let's
roleplay.
let's do that real quick. So I know you're going to look through the ledger, and Salem's heading to the church. Melody, what are you doing?
I don't know. I think I will just wait and see if there's something that needs to be done.
Okay.
Just kind of wait and see what happens with Salem.
So you're going to be a lookout, basically.
Yeah.
Well, are you going to wait at the car, which is a couple blocks away? Or are you going to go to the church but maintain a distance?
No, I think I'll go to the church just so I can be a little closer to see better.
Okay.
Should we check our soul crystals near the window? See if something magical's going on?
Well, that's not my
Maybe.
strong suit. but
We
I
already
can certainly
confirmed.
try.
Do that.
We did confirm during the session that like there is
There's
some
something.
activity.
Yes.
Is there activity?
Oh yeah,
in it?
that's true. We did.
I mean, I don't think it would hurt to do a second check to see if like we get like a bigger ping or something. But on that note, I think it's just us gonna do like watch it, like do look out, but like kind of like walk up and down and just see if there's like anybody like walking around.
So you're going to
Okay.
kind of do a perimeter sweep?
Yeah, no, a perimeter sweep, and like specifically kind of looking for like someone else who's also possibly doing a perimeter sweep.
Oh yeah, Salem's gonna actually go to be. That's exactly what I was hoping you. I trust you to distract anybody that's coming. So I trust you have my back.
Okay.
Or you convinced a guy at midnight you were just gonna survey an area for a music video. So you got this.
I like it. Kat, what's your plan?
I don't know.
Well, your options are stay behind in the car, head to the church, and kind of stay back a little bit, or go with Salem all the way.
Well, Kat was gonna go towards the church anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly doing what, I'm not sure. Doesn't really want to break into the car. Although wants to know whose car that is.
You can always look at. I mean, they might have their stuff out in the open. You can look and see.
Peek through the windows, see if there's anything. Peek through the windows of the car, see if there's anything. After Aisha says the coast is clear.
Okay, so are we?
It's more no news is good news situation.
Mm-hmm.
So are all of you waiting until Aisha does a perimeter sweep and then advancing? Or are you all just heading up at once?
I was just planning to go up when Salem goes.
I would have
Taking it at the car.
Assume you're good to go until I say something otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more
So we'll
about
go.
stop if you hear the alert, not wait for the alert
Got
kind of
it.
situation.
Got
We're
it.
teenagers. That makes most sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yep.
Okay.
We will go.
Okay, so the four of you are going while Damian is looking through the ledger one more time. What are you looking for, Damian?
Look, I know it's a pass, but I'm looking for like a GPS tracker or maybe running a mysticism check to see if there's like some kind of tracking spell on it, and if we've kind of screwed ourselves, perchance.
Okay, that's interesting. Give me a mysticism check.
Okay. 22.
22. Examining the ledger and that sort of thing, you do sense a bit of a trace of magic about it. You're kind of going through it, and in the very back, you notice that there is like a little piece of tape stuck to the back of the thing. You peel it off very gently, and you do see an odd-looking rune inscribed on the back of the book. It seems to be the source of the bit of magic that you're sensing.
I hate this so much. We have cameras, right? Did we buy cameras? I forget.
We
Or
bought
did we
a
not?
single disposable camera to use by Lacey Beckford.
You did buy that
I
one, but that
hate
was
this.
it. Yeah.
I hate this. Do I get an inkling of what is coming off of this rune, or can I ask the Wanderer for help?
Do like another check to see if I can get the Wanderer to.
Yeah, you're going to have to do another check. This is going to be a persuasion or influence check.
Influence it is. Nope, I said 11.
Yeah, unfortunately. You call out to the Wanderer, but there is no response.
Can I touch the rune to see what
Yeah,
See,
you reach
is
out.
it like embossed or like cut in or?
It's more like it. You touch it and you feel it, and you run your finger over it. It's like you don't feel an indentation. It's not like someone drew it on there. It's your finger kind of passes over it, but even as your finger's passing over it, you can still feel that. You can feel a little hum of power, just barely there. But now that you're aware of it, it comes through a little bit better. Like, you know how if there's a high-pitched whine of something, you don't hear it, but then once you become aware of it, it's easy to single out again? That's kind of the sensation this is. It doesn't feel anything beyond that. Like, you don't feel any negative, you don't feel any malevolence or energy. You can't tell like if there's an element attached to it or anything like that. The fact that you were able to sense it at all is pretty important. The only reason you sensed it is because you rolled so high, but it is of a rune.
It is of a rune.
It is of a rune.
I would like to take everything I can out of the ledger that is removable. So like paper, whatever, the picture, maybe everything but the picture.
So the picture itself wasn't in the ledger attached. It was just folded up and in between the pages.
Is there a way I can like rip the pages out?
You could, because it's just a spiral notebook.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to get everything out, save for the picture, put all the papers in like the glove compartment of the car, and then get out and head to the church.
Okay, so while that's going on, the rest of you have arrived at the outskirts of the church. Aisha, you begin your perimeter sweep. Melody, you are kind of being the lookout and watching, kind of being that in-between person, while Salem and Kat are making their way closer to the church. Aisha and Melody, I need you to make perception checks. Salem and Kat, I need you to make investigation checks.
I fucked up. Can I do one thing or?
Nope. You already said what you're doing. We'll come back. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
And if it's possible, I would like to use my bond ability because I don't know if there's going to be a difference between a 14 and a 15. But since this is kind of skulking, stalking sort of stuff, I want to channel my inner, like, the lessons I learned from my mother to gain.
Oh, man.
I like it.
And just add another one to make that a 15.
15. Okay. So here's what's going on. Salem and Kat, the two of you sneak your way up to your chosen destinations. Kat, the car. Salem, the window. Kat, you arrive at the car first and kind of go and look around it. It's easy to determine that it is the pastor's car because it's currently parked in a spot with a little sign in front that says reserved for pastor. So even with your 11, you are able to determine that, yes, this is definitely the pastor's car, unless some asshole went and parked there in the middle of the night and went inside and isn't the pastor. There's a pretty good probability that it is his car. The doors are locked. You are dismayed to realize. You can see that there is a jacket, like a light fall jacket, kind of tossed over the passenger seat of the car. You can also see that there is like you know, one of those insulated mugs that has a lid on it that people tend to use. There's one of those in the cup holder. You can also see like some papers strewn about the floor a little bit. He's kind of a messy guy, but you are able to determine that yes, that is definitely the pastor's car. But that's really about it with your 11. Aisha, as you're kind of moving around the building, nothing strikes you as odd. You it's just a normal building. You don't really see anybody else walking about or looking about, that sort of thing. You just kind of do a couple big wide circuit around it, and then come back towards Melody. Salem, you creep up to the window and kind of kneel down. There's bushes that's along the exterior of the building, and there is one right in front of this particular window. So you kind of creep up behind that bush and get up close to the window. Good news is that with your 15, the curtain is drawn, but it's drawn low, and there's a little bit of a gap, like maybe an inch-wide gap between that and the bottom, and you can see inside there. The room is lit up. It looks like a very snug office. There are bookshelves along the wall filled with books. You can see half of a desk that's like in the middle of the room, but you can only see like half of it from where your perspective is, and a big comfy chair behind it, like one of those super tall, high-backed red leather ones. There's that. But then you kind of start scanning to the other side, and you can see Pastor Bishop kneeling on the ground, on his knees. His back is erect. His arms are up in the sky. He seems to be looking upward, like his eyes are up like this. And he's also not wearing a shirt. He's bare from the waist up. At least you hope he's bare just from the waist up, because you can only see him from the waist up.
Okay.
It's also kind of cut. You can't help but notice. He's got some definition there. This dude works out.
So
Does he
not
have any
bare from the waist
tattoos or markings on his body?
None that you can see with your 15.
Okay.
So that's what he's doing. He's kneeling there. His arms are outright. His head is tilted up. You can actually see his face. His lips are moving very gently, and his eyes are rolled upward. Like you can barely see his irises at all. It's mostly the whites of his eyes.
Got it.
He seems to be praying.
Gross.
Melody, this has gone on for a little bit. You kind of stop there and you've been watching, and you kind of glance back and you can see Damian get out of the car and start walking the 2 blocks towards you. You can just see them in the distance through the streetlights.
Now can I do the thing that I messed up?
Sure, what are you doing?
I'd like to replace papers with like napkins, anything from my backpack that I can that's just like loose paper, to try to make it look like a full notebook again.
Okay.
And I'm willing to like do a check to see how good I am at this, but like I just want to, like I ripped everything out. I don't want to just hand an empty ledger back.
Sure. I'm trying to think what kind of roll that would be. Let's go with a creativity roll.
Okay. That's a 10.
That's a 10. You grab a bunch of crap out of your backpack, some napkins that are on the floor, other random junk, and just without really looking at what it is, just shove it all into the notebook. And now you're out of the car, and you're making your way towards Melody. Melody, you would spot Damian stepping out of the car and heading in that direction. And you've been watching for a little while. Like, you watched Kat disappear on the other side of the church. You can see Salem from your perspective, barely behind the bush, peeking in through the window. Aisha has made their circuit and is starting to make their way back towards you. But then there's something else that you see with your 25. Well, two things, actually. You notice that on a building across the street, on the roof, there is one of those flashes of light, almost like a reflective light from one of the street lights hitting something reflective and then just winking a little bit in your direction. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, you're catching a
Yes.
light reflecting off something, and you just catch that a couple times.
Yes.
So you see that, but then you also see in the distance a car turn onto the street you're currently on and driving in your direction towards the church.
Okay, I quickly say to my communicator, somebody's coming in a car.
Booking it, not even going to question it. Gone.
Everybody else?
X.
What's around the church? Is there like a garbage can or something
Let's
nearby?
see. You're probably about a block away at this point. A block away, there is... there's not a whole lot. The grounds are pretty big. So you're at
Is there like
the corner of a building. Let's say that, there is probably a trash can on the side of the building. On the opposite side of the street, you just crossed the street, and then you heard that, and you look around real quick, and behind you, there is a building, and you can see a couple trash cans.
And is there any grass between myself and the trash can? Like a
actually,
sidewalk grass?
Yeah, so, like... just for example, like, look at the actual Roll20 map. You can see Sacred Hearts Church there. There's actually a pretty big open space between it and the buildings nearby. So let's say that, yes, quite a bit of this open space. Well, yes, it's the parking lot, but there is also grass and, like, little cul-de-sacs and things like that.
I'm gonna rub the like probably even take off my shirt, rub the ledger on the grass as hard as I can to get rid of like fingerprints and stuff, and then throw it away. Throw away the ledger.
And you're just going to
And
toss
the
it in the
trash can.
dumpster over there? Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna run back to the car.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to need from y'all. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I think what I want from you, Damian, is an athletics check. To do that as quickly as you can before dumping it. Because you're having to do this in the space it takes for this car to drive down the street. You don't have a whole lot of time. All your friends are currently booking in your direction. So actually, I think I need... athletics check from you, and then stealth checks from everybody.
Ooh. Oh, thank God. That's a nat 20 on the athletics check.
Nice.
That seems
So, let me stealth if we're like trying not to be seen. What if we're trying to seem like we're just naturally walking?
Then you're not going to get to Damian's car in time to not be spotted. But if you're trying to if you're trying to just act like you're meant to be there, that would be a deception check.
Good stuff. Ah, damn. Oh well. Actually, I want to do my bond ability for that.
Okay.
Add a little bit if I can. D4.
I'll go with the stealth.
Mi hermana.
Let's
God
go,
damn
squad.
Another one.
Let's go.
That's 13 total.
Listen, it's 90s. We're teens. Of course, we're going to be running around.
Yeah, of course. We're just
the-
loitering. We're just loitering.
Just loitering, absolutely. Good news is that, at least a couple of you make it to the car before it gets to the parking lot. And surprising no one, it does turn into the parking lot. But as it's turning, it stops right at the entrance to the church, as the rest of your group is hot-footing it to the car, jumping into the car as quickly as you can. Damian starts the car really quickly, and you start pulling out and driving away. But when you glance back, you do see that there's headlights in your rearview mirror.
Uh-oh. You're following us?
I would like to drive to Loropa Park and Park.
Okay, you're heading to Loropa Park.
Unless anybody has any input.
That seems good to me. I have a plan.
Anywhere where there's high ability to the more congested the city, the easier it is for us to hide.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to try to drive fast enough to lose them.
Then let's go.
I'm going to go to the park as if we're going to hang out at the park, and we're just like teenagers being teenagers.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Were they actually following us?
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Well, yeah, you're about to find out.
I might take a little screwy path, to confirm, but yeah.
I got it.
I like it. You start heading towards Loropa Park. You kind of turn down some weird avenues to see whether or not the car is following. After a few minutes, you do see headlights. They're maintaining a distance. They're maintaining a distance on you. They're about 5 or 6 car lengths behind you. But every time you turn and then look in the rear view mirror and wait, keep driving on, wait, you see those headlights pull in again and come in behind you. If you continue on with your trek and without stopping, you do eventually make it to Loropa Park. The park is closed, so but there aren't any gates or anything because we're not at that point in the U.S. yet. So the park does have an open parking lot, and your car turns and pulls into the parking lot, and then you kind of all look back to see if the headlights follow. And the headlights drive past the parking lot entrance. But you can tell the car slows down and gets to a point it's at a very slow crawl as it watches what your car does in the parking lot before speeding up again and driving away.
Once it's gone, out of sight, and we're sure that it's not it stopped somewhere, I will check in with everyone. I'm holding my breath right now.
When the car's speeding away, is it too far to even try to read the plate?
Oh yeah, it didn't pull into the parking lot. And it's always maintained a far enough distance that it would be. I'm not even going to make you roll. It just would not be possible to catch their license plate. Yeah.
Totally.
Did Melody with her nat 20 before happen to perceive anything other than the car was there?
No.
She didn't get the nat 20. I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Oh no, she got it on her perception when you were looking for stuff, and with the nat 20. You saw the reflection on the roof of a building opposite the church, and then you spotted the car early enough to get away. That was what the nat 20 gave you.
Gotcha.
So stressful. Y'all ready to go home?
I feel every
Super
decision we make is the wrong one.
No, that's the right one. I think we made.
Yeah, I disagree. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll pull out and start taking everybody home, and we'll keep an eye out to see if the car starts following us again.
Could we at least remember what?
Did?
What?
Oh,
Sorry.
I want to know what kind of car it is. Like, we know that it's what color, because I don't know like make and model, but I think at this point we would at least be able to say, was it a blue car versus a blue minivan versus a blue truck? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and say that it is a brown, small four-door sedan.
got it. Keeping my eyes up for that.
Absolutely.
I think it was his beloved.
What I was gonna ask is, do you communicate to the crew what you did with the book?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Actually, can I take that back?
What?
Sure.
You don't tell him?
I'll say. I think I'm gonna say I threw the book. I had second thoughts about the book, and I went to go return it to the church. I was just gonna throw it in the bushes because I found something on the ledger that was kind of magically charged, and I freaked out. And then the car started coming down. We got the message from Melody, and I threw it away. And that's all I say.
Okay.
What was this magical charge?
Yeah, did you try it?
What do you mean? Did I touched it? It was a rune, and I showed people I take out of my pocket the copy of the rune, and maybe we can compare it to the other runes that we've seen.
Lust.
If the Wanderer is still resting at my house, I can double check with them.
Oh, did I make a copy? I didn't understand what you said. Yes, I made a copy of the rune.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'll allow
I
it.
did believe
Well,
you said that.
I said draw. The word I used was originally draw.
Yes, I did draw it. Yeah, I think I'm fairly certain I said that I'm like, okay, I'm going to copy down the rune, rip everything out. I guess I can watch a recording.
And if you show them the rune, it's not one that you've seen before, but it is similar. It's of the same styling.
Okay.
I would think it's lust.
That well, I mean, this is a good find though.
Yeah.
Confirmation is great, one way or the other. So
People are willing to do insight, or I'm willing to go against an insight check and do a deception roll if people are curious if I'm telling the truth. But
I mean, I don't even know what you've lied there. All of those are true.
yeah,
It's ripping out the paper,
lie of omission.
not telling that part. But I don't think I would be suspicious. So
it
Yeah.
doesn't. Yeah, no, you
Okay.
That one
doesn't sound suspicious, and we watched you literally throw the book out, so I think that's pretty plausible.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Me, the player, mostly cared about the group knowing about the rune.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the rune was the most important thing in the book.
So
Well, maybe not. The rest of it we can remember, hopefully.
I mean, we did entrust it to you. You said you were going to get copies, whatever copies those are. That's none of it. That's it. Yeah.
Okay,
So.
then I guess I'll take everybody home.
Okay.
Making sure no one's following.
Yeah, I was supposed to say keep out an eye for a brown four-door sedan.
I'm just gonna walk across the park. You do not have to
Are we
bring me
not-
home.
That's
Are we
right.
not
That's
checking out
true.
the candy store, or did we already do that?
We already checked out
Or
candy
no,
store.
the
We have
cafe,
not.
The cafe.
Yeah,
That's what I meant. Sorry.
No worries. I can check out the cafe in the morning before school. I can run and get my tea and do a quick scan. So
Yeah, I think we call the patrol phase here because of how late it's getting. It's probably past 11 now.
Yeah, it is.
So I think I'd like to get some sleep and try to get rid of my 2 fractures.
Okay. Well, you drop Aisha off right there in the park, and Aisha can make her way across to her place.
I want to
And
keep an eye on her and make sure she doesn't get followed by a car or anybody.
that's fair. Give me a perception. Why don't just everybody give me a perception check real quick? And that way we can just determine whether or not you see anything on your drive home.
Well, I don't.
Oh my god.
You're too busy looking at the road like you should be.
Yeah. I'm
good.
being so safe. I'm being such a safe driver.
Damian thinks that they did a really big bad thing by ripping the pages out, so they can't even focus. They're like, oh.
I'm definitely stressed about having a secret now.
Yeah. After giving so much shit to Melody about having a secret, you've now got one of your own. So you're focused. You're going to focus on that one while you're driving, and you really don't see a whole lot of anything.
Okay.
Here's the good news: is that Salem with your 21, Melody with your 17, both of you are fairly confident that nobody follows you on the drive home.
Cool.
Well, actually, all of you are confident, but the two of you that matter are fairly confident.
We don't matter.
Justifiably so.
I'm a single person in the park. There's no way anyone looking for Damian's car would associate me with the car.
Cool.
But none of you do
Yes,
see
yes.
anybody following you. You make it home. Damian, you're able to drop off everyone else, and you all head off to bed. We're going to close things out by doing a little bit of housekeeping, because let's talk about your sleep phase real quick. Damian, Aisha, Katrina, Salem, the four of you are going to be having a refreshing sleep effect. What that means is because you didn't fight or anything, and all that, you get to bed early and you have a good night's sleep. You recover all hit points. You recover all magic points. You reduce stress points by 5. You reduce exhaustion points by 2. And you recover crystalline fractures equal to 2 plus your reputation level.
Nice. Love it.
Hey.
Melody,
Uh-oh.
you have some very dark dreams this evening.
No.
You keep you keep having this dream of kneeling down in front of the book, placing your thumbs on those bloody spots, the book opening and flaring with magic, and spirits talk to you, but it's all these harsh whispers, and it's really dark, and when you wake up in the morning, your heart's kind of palpitating. You have the feverish dreams effect. You recover hit points equal to your Constitution modifier multiplied by your Magi-Knights level. You are going to recover all MP. Do you have any stress points or exhaustion points?
No, thankfully. I think I recovered them the night before.
Okay, so the good news is you don't need to make any rolls to resist.
Good.
However, you also only recover 1 crystalline fracture.
Book just really wants me to touch it.
Give it your blood.
Yeah, when you wake up, you do have that same kind of suspicion, like those intrusive thoughts of trying it out are definitely right there.
I still want to talk to James first, so I'm going to hold off.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think that's where we're going to end things for this evening. We're going to be starting next session bright and fresh. It's going to be Monday morning, and y'all got school. So that should be fun. Well done, everybody. I feel like you got some really good information this session. It's going to be a lot of fun to see where you go with it from there. thank you to everyone who watched this evening. We very much appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. I hope you had as much fun as we did. Come back in 2 weeks to find out what our heroes get up to at school and in their investigation afterwards. I can't wait to find out what they're going to do with this information they just got. But you got to wait 2 weeks.
Boo.
Only 2 this time, right?
Yeah, only 2 this time, hopefully. Anyway, let's go ahead and go around the table and have everybody tell us who they are and where we can find them on the internet. And Kira, you're the one that did the recap, so why don't you go first?
Okay. I'm Kira. I'm the assistant creator of Magi-Knights Awakening. And you can find all of our socials and email and everything on our website, magi-knights.com. And we are going to have a Kickstarter probably early next year. We're thinking like end of January at this point, where we'll have this cute little plushie as one of the prizes. And
Nice.
also, let's see if I can grab it really quick. I hope I don't knock him down because I tried to set him up so I could show it.
Oh,
Oh,
Shoot.
Wow.
so many.
These are standees and miniatures we're gonna have in there too. Of,
Nice.
The characters.
Wow.
We'll have some characters available for stretch goals too to also get them.
heck yeah.
And then, oof, that was scary. I don't want to break them.
It's so good.
And I'm also the author of the children's book, My Dad the Game Master, which you can find on Amazon.
Very cool. Very cool. Let's say, Los, you're up next. Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. I had some background noise. Hi, I'm Los. I played Damian, which was a lot of fun. You can find me here every other week. This is currently the only stream that I have going. Some of that Random Rhapsody exclusivity. On socials, you can find me everywhere at PDX Homebrew is the handle. I'm probably most active on Threads right now. That's me in a nutshell.
Right on. Hana, you're next.
Hi, I was your Aisha or Starseeker for tonight. You can find me everywhere that matters, plus X, at Destiny Trio INC. I'm not really doing any other TTRPG stuff right now besides this. Just let your heart be your guiding key.
Heck yeah.
That was so funny. Everywhere that matters except for X. So
I
good.
say that every
Oh.
time.
Mm-hmm.
But it like really hit me today. Nice. I loved it.
Ash, you're next.
I'm Ashleyien. I played Kat, and you can find me here every 2 weeks.
Heck yeah. John, you're next.
I'm John. I played Salem tonight. Always a blast. Love doing it. You can find me here every other Monday and Wednesdays. On Mondays, I am in the Pathfinder 2E campaign for the Aethertech Wars, where I play Draven. I love my little cinnamon bun. But you can also find me on Instagram at CreativePanda88 or Blue Sky at johnpoart.bluesky.social. Also, we just filmed our Halloween one-shot special using Monster of the Week, and it was a blast. If you missed it, I hope you guys can check it out when we drop it, because it was so much fun.
It was a blast. It definitely was. And as always, I am Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and game master here on the Random Rhapsody Network. You can find me every Monday, every Wednesday, and occasionally other times, running crazy games for crazy people, having a lot of fun doing it. I was also in the Halloween one-shot. I was a player, so that's a rare thing for me, but I always have a blast doing it, where I get to just ham it up and be a jackass. It's so much fun. You can always find me on the socials. I'm on the tweets, I'm on the Instas, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on Mastodon, all as a Scruffy Wanderer. I only post intermittently. Most of the time, it's just talking about what I'm doing currently, which is just lots and lots of games. So definitely go check me out there and, come say hi. Other than that, I just want to say, on behalf of everyone here in the Magi-Knights and everyone in the Random Rhapsody crew, thank you, folks. It's been a delight. So long, good luck, and until next time, may your dreams be infinite. And good night.
Nighty night.
Night.